I think it's this aspect that we're moving from a communication-centric aspect to communications, computing, sensing, AI, all of those things being much more intertwined.
John, Shashank, welcome. John, there's a lot of chat, isn't there, about the interplay between 5G, AI, and 6G. What do you make of it?
Well, here we are today in the 5G connected world, 2026. We're already starting to use AI more and more, whether it's in our work or even how we interact with different types of applications. As we look forward, not only is changing how we're using AI, so agentic AI is going to change our ability to interact with devices more naturally. And we're starting to see right now already a lot of physical AI. How do you train robots? And that ability to then take AI and leverage not only the consumer world, but also the industrial physical world, where you're going to be able to train these new types of applications. So when I look at 6G, it's about that connectivity fabric, but it's really about designing it for this next generation of AI applications. So going from 5G today in 26 to 6G in 2029, 2030, that's going to bring in this new era of an AI native 6G.
Shashank, what does AI native network look like in practice? How would it differ, if at all, from what we traditionally think about mobile networks?
Yeah. Look, I think the biggest misnomer across the world today is that people think about the next generation of network is simply faster and with more capacity. We've just launched a report in partnership with John and Qualcomm, where we've looked at what makes an AI native network actually different. What does it take to create a connectivity sort of ecosystem that enables intelligence all around? And you think about the key differences as today's networks are all optimized for downlink connectivities. The data comes from the center to the edge to the node. It's really important in an AI-first world for data to move in both directions with equal speed, predictability, and capacity. What's also required is intelligence not just at the application layer, but embedded into the very fabric of the network itself that ensures you have the right set of capacity delivered to the right node at the right point in time without sacrificing the experience of all the other components around it. So in my mind, it's a fundamentally different way to think about network architecture. And it's required to make AI truly flourish and manifest in the way that we've all imagined it to be.
John, what stood out for you in the report?
I think it's this aspect that we're moving from a communication-centric aspect to communications, computing, sensing, AI, all of those things being much more intertwined. So it's about how these technologies work together and how does that evolve with these new use cases that are getting more and more traction and more industry interest to make sure it becomes a reality.
Indulge me, let's look to the future. 10 years hence, I know that's not an easy thing to do in this fast-moving space, but what's possible then that isn't possible now?
I think when I look at the future and I look at AI, it's about how it becomes more natural. The same thing with communications bandwidth. People take for granted the amount of video traffic that's flowing over 5G. If we look at 6G era, it's going to be about AI traffic and it's going to be seamless. It's about making us more productive, staying connected with our friends and family, but doing that in a way that is meaningful, and it's happening generally at the edge of the network. It's happening on the devices, but it's happening in a more seamless overall manner.
Shashank?
Look, I think about this as any technology sufficiently advanced, you can't differentiate it from magic. And so look at the world around you right now. It is completely different from what it was 10 years ago. We have data and access to intelligence everywhere. I think about 10 years from now, intelligence embedded in the very fabric of how we operate and interact, immersive technologies that allow us to deeply engage with other people like us, and honestly, agents and robots that all serve different functions in society. I'm very, very excited about what the next 10 years can bring for us.
Shashank, John, an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.